You are tuned into the new Old Heads podcast, premiered every Thursday at noon at bringingdowntheband.com and brought to you by No Bad Ideas, Coleman Dental, Printfinity, and Indie CD and Vinyl. Support the new Old Heads by visiting our Patreon at patreon.com/newoldheads.
Episode 163 of the new Old Heads podcast. I am Major 7th. I make pretty good beats, etc., etc., etc. Across the table for me, as always, 𝐀𝐿𝐿 professor at 𝐷ecademics DJ School here in Indy, music producer and founder of bringingdowntheband.com. My man Lonegevity, how are you, sir?
Doing great. Michael, how are you?
I'm
Michael.
Doing great, man. Good to see you as always.
Awesome.
Nice product placement there. I like that.
You know, shouts to the homies.
Yeah, they take care of us as always. Across the table, fresh to death, rocking the Printfinity exclusive. He's the CEO of Printfinity, also DJ extraordinaire, long time contributor to Bringing Down the Band, DJ Jay Diff.
Salutations.
What's happening, man?
What's going on?
I like that No Bad Ideas gear you rocking up top there, brother.
Thank you. You as well.
Yeah, it matches your
Very fitting.
your ensemble. I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I see what we doing there.
A little bit, you know.
Yeah, a little something.
You can get at me if you want one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're going to talk about that. To my immediate left, DJ extraordinaire, avid Chicago sports fanatic, and he is in control of his own life, the incomparable DJ Spoolz.
I just can't believe that got put into the intro. Hey, Michael. Hi, Michael. Hello, Michael. How are you?
I'm good, my friend. How are you?
Doing well, man. Thanks for asking.
Shout out to the Bears, man. Took care of business.
3 in a row.
How do you feel?
Okay. We have probably I don't know, like the last 3 games are incredibly difficult.
So,
Packers.
Okay. Divisional.
Vikings and one other, is it the Rams?
So are those both division
sure.
games, the first two? And then the Rams obviously is
not in that order, I don't think. I know we've got the Packers Sunday. But
So you guys are approaching, I'm assuming the Packers are winning the division, so you guys are trying to sneak in a wild card perhaps?
and the Vikings are also ahead of us by a game.
Oh, that's tough.
So,
Okay.
and I think they beat us earlier this year.
I don't
By
know.
a yard, you'd say?
I said I think they beat us earlier this year.
By a yard?
I don't know about that.
Never mind.
By 3 feet.
Yeah.
There we go.
A stick?
Give or take.
If you just said yardstick, whatever.
Oh, we're going to talk about a yardstick a little bit later on. On the couch, locked and loaded, former radio personality, master of ceremonies, and a voice of Indianapolis. My man Jay Moore is with us off camera. How are you, sir?
Doing well. Doing very well.
Good to see you as always. Red August is in the building as well, on site producing, helping us do what we do. We appreciate that, brother, as always.
It's the Chiefs.
The
Bears played the Packers, then the Chiefs, and then end in Minnesota. Yeah.
Mahomes, man. That's a
All
bad
those teams
boy.
are like 9-4, 10-3.
But if they win all of them, they have a very good chance of making the playoffs.
Yeah, they have to go 3-0 against 3 really tough teams.
That's tough. They got the defense,
But they've
man.
They've won their last 3. So basically win their last 6 games and go to the playoffs. Maybe.
I'm just here smiling at all the Trubisky people that are flipping.
Oh, I see them everywhere.
Dude, you've heard, I mean, I've been pretty steady as he's asked
you
me and
have.
tried to like goat me.
I have, and he's been very consistent.
Shitting on Trubisky. I've not done it, man. Like, it's just, he's young.
But
and
people have been, and they've been
Yeah.
extremely quiet the last 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Spoolz does not take the bait. He's been very consistent on, still having support for Trubisky. I will give him that.
I mean,
He
at
is not swayed.
at least just not shitting on him and like giving him a chance to,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He ran for 60-some yards last game and a touchdown and threw 3.
Yeah, he was like I saw the game like he snapped. Like there's nothing you could say. So,
Homer always comes out the bushes.
He does.
Yeah, he definitely is out there. and Homer will go right back if they lose to Kansas City or whatever.
I told you guys. I told you.
Yeah.
And back in the bushes.
Yeah.
He did his thing though. I can't front.
Those super rational sports fans. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yes.
Monday morning quarterbacks.
Yeah, just like the goofies that's trying to blame everything on Jacoby Brissett for the Colts. Just
That's
because
stupid.
Vinatieri missing field goals out here, but it's Jacoby's fault.
I mean, if
you
they
don't
played
sack
Chad,
your
if they
ass
played
down.
Chad Kelly, it'd be different.
Oh,
You know,
that's
I
what
think
it
Chad
is.
Kelly caught a case, man.
Yeah, he
Several.
caught a few.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fewer 2 or 3.
Then he punched somebody at a party or something like that recently. Like,
I don't know about recently.
Whatever they said he did that shit.
He did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't disrespect the flag, though, by kneeling.
No,
So-
so
Yeah,
of course not.
Yeah, totally different.
still on
No,
somebody.
didn't touch
and-
anybody.
Yeah.
Totally different.
Yeah.
He didn't kill anybody drunk driving or anything.
Not at all.
No.
Still on somebody, get you a position.
He didn't donkey punch anybody.
Nah. He didn't do that.
Or grope a titty.
He didn't
No.
do that. No groping.
Nah.
Back in his hometown of Miami,
Yeah.
of Ohio.
You know, he didn't dodge anything, man. He out here.
Yeah. I mean, if he did any of those things, he would still have a job.
Yeah.
It's
Look, just because
it's a
Chad
flag
Kelly
thing.
was found asleep in a family's home, a family he didn't know,
Yeah.
and they beat him with sticks, that does not mean he doesn't deserve a chance in the NFL.
That's right. That did happen.
That's right. Shame on those people that beat him with those sticks.
Yeah.
Let that man get back into the league.
Yeah.
He's in there, so
He's lucky
Whatever.
he didn't get shot, man.
that's a good point.
You know,
Son of
would
a
never
bitch.
wish that on someone. But when
Yeah.
you wake up in someone's home, you don't know what that homeowner might do.
Hey, it happened to Robert Downey Jr., and look at him now. He's Iron Man.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. So
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
It is. I know friends that got that thing. I ain't gonna name no names, but
Cocaine.
could have been a no, not that. Could have been. Don't do
okay.
that.
Hang out with a bunch of cokeheads, do you, man?
That explains it.
I feel
People
you.
know
I
this.
knew
Okay.
it. I knew it.
All right, whatever. Man.
Explains so much.
All right, so all right, so let's jump into the rundown for this episode. Unfortunately, I have to. Well, I wouldn't say report because the news has already been going around. But Chicago rapper JuiceWRLD, who's 21 years old,
Oh, he's from Chicago too.
yeah, he's from the Chi. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He passed away early Sunday morning. He had some. They're saying a medical emergency, but we found out later that he actually had a seizure at Midway.
No, they were saying seizure immediately.
Did they say it immediately? I pulled the report, so maybe it was older. But yeah, he had a seizure, passed away, 21 years old. Man, that's so
Just
young.
turned 21.
And the thing about it is, I'm not gonna lie and say I was that familiar with his, we'll say catalog. I think he had 2 albums, but somebody did put me on to his ability to freestyle. And there was a video of him floating around where he freestyled. It seemed like 30 or 40 minutes straight, just going over different beats, and he actually could rap. Like he could really spit from what I saw. But some of the records that I heard, he had a joint called Lucid Dreams. That was a pretty big record. It was more of the, I guess what you would call a vibey type joint. They had the singing, the melodic thing that a lot of the kids are doing today. But
Got a $15 million lawsuit over that song.
oh word, I missed that.
Did not clear the Sting sample.
Oh, it was a Sting sample. That's expensive.
It's the same sample that Nas used on.
The message.
There we go.
Oh wow, okay, I wasn't aware of that. Yeah, but he could actually rap, man. From what I saw in one of the videos that someone shared with me, but. You just hate to see these kids, and we'll get into this later about what Jordan Lucas had some comments about it, but they actually asked his girlfriend, the police asked his girlfriend about, some of his habits or what have you, and she replied and said that he takes Percocets as a painkiller and that he also had a drug problem. There was also something that came out later. It says there were officers and agents that had been waiting at the Atlantic Aviation hangar at Midway early that Sunday because they suspected that a private plane from Los Angeles carrying a musician, who his real name was Jared Higgins, by the way, maybe carrying certain things or something. So it kind of looks like I don't want to say setup if that's the wrong word, but they were waiting on him to land, and they found. I think I heard you mentioning it early what the rundown was for what they found.
70 pounds.
A weed, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And I think
it was a bottle or 2 of lean.
It's like 6.
Was it?
And
I
then
think
they found
said,
2 guns.
2 pistols,
And
yeah.
they found steel piercing bullets, I believe,
Yep.
for one of the guns.
Yep. So that's unfortunate, man, because anytime.
Or metal piercing, rather. Steel
He's
piercing.
flying dirty.
Yeah.
Well, I'd also read, just to jump in real quick, that
Mm-hmm.
a somewhat similar incident happened with him like 4 or 5 months ago in a different city.
I wasn't aware of that.
So he's kind of been on I guess he had been on the radar.
I don't know if it's true. They said
Supposedly.
right.
Allegedly, whatever.
Allegedly, yeah. I actually saw something that came across one of my timelines on social media that said he may have like quickly taken like a handful of pills or something as they just landed or something like that. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I've also heard that a couple people said he ingested a handful of
I mean, if you
unknown pills.
you've got 70 pounds on you, I don't think a few pills is gonna help.
Well,
Yeah.
the pills are going to get you more time than the pounds of weed, definitely.
For sure.
Like,
Especially with-
depending on what kind of pill it is, each pill can carry
certain
10 to 20 years, possibly. I mean, he has enough money to get a good lawyer,
right?
If that was the case,
I'm
but
surprised he didn't just hide him or put him, like.
That's
You know what I mean? Who knows? Like, that's just so sad, man. Like, rest in peace to him, man. That's
yeah. Prayers go out to his family, man, because that young he hadn't even, we can remember 21.
He hadn't scratched the surface yet.
He hadn't even
just
lived
turned
yet.
21.
Yes.
4 or 5 days prior to him passing, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So he hadn't even began to, even reach his potential musically or just as a man. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're 21, you're still figuring it out. So it's
there's already conspiracy theories about it that.
Already? What are they saying?
They're saying that he faked his death and
because of a previous tweet.
Well, nah, because I guess he kind of alluded to that, and then I guess there was this challenge that kids are doing where they're actually listening to his song on TikTok, and they have a seizure, while they're doing the performance, they do this little Caesar piece.
It's called the Lucid Dreams challenge.
Yeah,
but they were doing this before he died. And
exactly.
So glad I don't get on social media.
Wait, so the kids,
I just found out this shit.
So the kids there's a challenge, a social media challenge where they're faking seizures.
Yeah, this was before he died, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
but that's still whack, though.
It is, and there was also some alluding to comparing himself to what's the beat? John Lennon.
Oh, okay.
And dying at 21.
That just happened. It's odd. I want to say last week was like the 35 or 36 year anniversary of John Lennon getting shot.
Well, he died the same day as John Lennon.
And
that's crazy.
He has a song where he's talking about doing something like John Lennon. John Lennon died
Yesterday
on December
was the
8th.
9th, or the 8th or the 9th,
Yeah, so they both died on December 8th.
That's wild.
So there's all these conspiracy theories and shit, but I mean, obviously that's not true.
Yeah.
Just unfortunate similarities, and I don't know, but he definitely was vocal about drug use.
Yeah.
Him and Future had a collaboration album, which was, what was it called?
I'm not gonna lie and say
it was like the Sherwin-Williams glow with the paint being dripped, but it was like lean being poured on it.
But I remember, I read that he said that Future was one of the people that I guess got him into that at a young age where he wanted to start, sipping lean or whatever. And I guess Future, from what I heard, apologized for that, as they were working on the project. But now that's crazy when you think about it and think about Dirty Sprite. People call that a classic, project or mixtape. And it's like, the impact of the music, we're starting to see it more. There's so many of these young kids out here that are passing away. So before
it's been going on. I mean, that's a Texas thing.
Yeah, 100%.
Cats from Texas have been passing away for a long time off lean.
Yeah,
I heard making music about it. So
I heard they administered Narcan to him. I read that in one of the reports as well, which is typically given to people who have opiates, typically like heroin and stuff like that. Well, not to say he took heroin. That's not what I'm saying. But it's usually administered on the street to people who are overdosing on heroin.
Gotcha.
But for any opiates is what it's used for.
And for any of the young people who are listening, I'm not sure how many there are, but I can't impress on people enough. Lean is a liquid form, basically, of heroin. You have to withdraw from it. It is painful, and it is a miserable experience. I can't impress, as OGs, if you will, new old heads, we have to continue to say these things out loud.
100%. Good point there. I'm glad you actually said that. So rest in peace. Rest in peace to JuiceWRLD, and also we want to send prayers out to his family because, somebody lost a son, brother, uncle, whatever. So rest in peace to that young man.
Absolutely, man. It's tragic.
Yeah, and
I didn't know his music. It's just such a
talented kid.
I hate hearing about this stuff, man.
Yeah, he definitely was a talented kid with some promise. I could say that from the little amount that I saw. Joyner Lucas, actually, he made some waves on that same day. He basically said people are glorifying drugs, and here was the quote. He said, "JuiceWRLD was 21." This is what Joyner wrote. He said, "He was a product of our generation of rappers who glorified drugs and made it cool. He said, I'm blaming y'all niggas for this shit. All the lean and pills niggas glorify and talk about. You teaching the kids to do it. Shake my head. You happy now? ? Rest in peace. JuiceWRLD going too soon. And
he's right.
And 𝐾𝐄𝐃𝐒 came up with the comment was too long for me to paraphrase, but he basically called him a lame for saying that. And I think 𝐾𝐄𝐃.
Well, he didn't come. He wasn't too angry in his.
Well, I mean, that's what stuck out to me. I guess the quote about a lame, but I think Herbo was coming from a standpoint of it kind of just happened, so it's like it's kind of.
Well, he talked about. Damn, what did he say?
I might be able to.
Yeah, pull it up if you can. He said something. He was more so alluding to the fact that you don't know how hard, or not necessarily you, but like him. But he's like, it's tough to be a celebrity, and and the stress that he's going through, and it wasn't just and it was part of it. That's what I took from it. And then Joyner obviously responded back to that as well. But
in all reality, artists have been dying from drug overdoses for as long as I can remember, before we were even here. It's just that musically it's talked about a lot more than it was back in the day, which makes it I guess you can say popular. It's popular to do drugs. Right. It's okay to be a junkie. Right. For the most part. You know what I'm saying? There's no repercussion, or you're not talked about for being a junkie. It's out there. This is what everybody wants to do. So, unfortunately, so
yeah. I guess he did call him a clown. So
yeah, you found a quote.
Yeah, so he said,
you were on the right track too.
But I mean, I felt like he was just trying to say, he was trying in his long paragraph here. He didn't see it coming. He didn't see the millions coming from fame, coming out of nowhere.
Right.
I got 50 homies dead on my granny, been shot, blah 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 blah. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I guess what I took from 𝐾𝐄𝐃 at that point was just him saying like, there's just like a miscommunication from what Joyner was saying versus how he interpreted it.
And that's probably his guy too. So he's speaking up for
Chicago ties.
Chicagoans. You know what I'm saying? So.
And the emotion is going to be heightened there just off the strength of them being from the city.
I think Bibby was one of the first that actually co-signed JuiceWRLD.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're all kind of in the same camp per se, or familiar with each other.
But Joyner came back and replied to that and clarified it.
Yeah, I think his comment was,
and he said there's a difference between glorifying and speaking on it as it's a part of your life.
I agree with that.
And he said his comment was towards the people that were glorifying it as opposed to speaking about it, which would be Future's music, which Future would glorify it if he wasn't doing lean and he's rapping about lean.
Yeah. And then he actually,
that's different.
He came out, one of the things that frustrated me was when he came out and was like, I'm not actually, heavy into it like that.
That's
but
what
I just
mean.
rap, what I mean? Like that really, we talked about that, I don't know, many moons ago.
He's right. But, he's right. In my opinion, he's right.
Yeah.
In that aspect.
In terms of Joyner.
In my opinion, he's right. Like, I think there's a difference between glorifying something and just speaking on it because it's your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to me, Joyner was talking about the people that were glorifying it.
Like Future?
Like Future.
Well,
which is documented.
Yeah. I mean, but at the same time, we like to put this on the youngsters, but let's
I'm not blaming Future for him dying.
No,
but
let's not act like that some sort of drug use hasn't always been glorified in hip-hop. Let's not act like there weren't a whole bunch of acts in the early 80s named Ski or Cold Rock Ski or Snow, or like all that was alluding to cocaine. The party rap tapes, you'd hear people say cocaine. Like that's a thing. And so let's not act like this is new because we want to put it on young people.
But this isn't being put on. I guess what I'm saying is this isn't him. He's not putting this on a young person. He's putting it on the music and that aspect of it. It's different. I don't think that's relevant.
I think it's just clear across the board. That's what I was saying as far as people who have been dying and overdosing on drugs in the entertainment business forever. I mean, you have the 27 Club.
Yeah,
for sure.
I was going to say
it's not new.
Spans different,
but it doesn't omit
like genres of music. Like
right.
It doesn't omit it though. Like just because people have been dying from it doesn't mean that all of a sudden we gotta say, oh well, this is the way it is.
Nah, what I was saying is the problem now is it's just more prevalent for people to actually discuss drug use musically, because being a junkie has been popularized.
If you go back, listen to some of those songs in the 60s and 70s, though, they're talking about it and that shit too, though.
They are, but it's just not art, so it doesn't reach as many people as easily, and it's not as easy to, well, it wasn't as easy to actually get your hands on it, I would say.
And I think it's different, like, it's the same in that people are overdosed. I mean, there was a lot of rock musicians in the 60s and 70s that overdosed, right?
Right.
Sure.
But it's the type of drugs, and I think it's a little bit, different. These are all a lot of prescription drugs too. I'm just trying to, make the distinction between, I guess, the two. Like, this is lean. This is all prescription shit. Yeah. I mean, they were overdosing on heroin and cocaine.
Lil Xan.
Neither's better or worse. They're all both horrible. There's just a difference between the two.
I mean, Eminem's first album had 2 Vicodin pills on it.
Yeah.
Right.
Like screaming. Like, yeah.
And if you think about it, I think you were Jay Diff, were kind of going down this road. I think music is so much more easily consumed now on a wider base, wider platform. You get music anywhere now. So you think about an impressionable era, we'll say, in terms of kids that can just turn their phone on and get this music ASAP. Like back then, you had to go out and cop records. I'm not saying the impact or it didn't happen back then. I'm saying that now it's easier to get access to that music now. You know what I'm saying? I think it reaches the masses faster.
I mean, is it though, really?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
I think so. I think music is just much easier to consume and much faster to consume now than it was in the era that we're comparing it to.
I feel like shit was consumed more thoroughly back in that day.
People sat with it a lot longer, definitely, and got familiar with it.
I'm glad we're talking about this because we're talking about like the influence of different things being said on music. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I remember Sage Francis does this spoken word thing. It's like the boom bap that got me or something like that. You guys maybe have heard it, but he talks about the 80s and he talks about he has a line about like death metal and hardcore metal in there, and he says something to the effect of and they said kill your mother because they knew it would sell records and make them money.
Mommy's gotta go.
Like there's no difference between that in a way and like what Future, and there was a satanic panic in the 80s, you know what I mean, that was caused by
play the records backwards.
Yeah, stuff like that, especially like I don't know, looking like weird Norwegian black metal. It's just that's over there and that's crazy. But like the reason why I said that is because I read a comment about Trippie Redd, my favorite rapper, and
heard you listen to that earlier.
He said he's going to quit drugs, just smoke weed, just quit drugs. I respect that. And he goes, but I'll still, I'll probably still rap about him,
Right.
He's like, because of the feeling or whatever. And I was like,
yep, that just sums up everything. That sums it all up. That train of thought.
If I'm not mistaken, I just, I think this will always kind of be. So let's look at JuiceWRLD too. Like he was, as Joyner Lucas mentioned, he was depressed. Like he was prescribed drugs, but then eventually ended up abusing them. Like I don't know if you can blame Future for that.
Imagine
no,
being
I don't think
you can't. We can't.
I think a lot of that is mental.
I don't think you can blame. I don't think you can blame Future for his death by any means.
No,
I'm just saying.
No.
I just think as a part of society in general, the message that we put out there in general is going to be received. And so if you know that your message is doing something that Future was doing, it's going to have consequences at some point in time.
I agree.
I believe that.
I don't believe, and I do believe.
But I don't feel like he's responsible for
No,
death.
and I agree. But and I just, or like people that, like what Joyner was saying, people that glorified it or whatever.
Yeah.
Or just using Future as an example. But, yeah, man, I mean,
it contributes to it maybe somewhat.
Yeah. I think that type of music has more influence on people who aren't also artists, in my opinion.
Maybe, I don't know.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I can't speak to that. I don't honestly know.
As far as societal trends and things like that are concerned, like
it's definitely an issue.
The shit you rap, I mean, if you look at what people get caught with now, you know what I mean, and what people rap about, and just it's
Which came first, the chicken or the egg? You know.
Yeah.
Crossing the street.
That's I always say. Art imitates life, imitates art. It's a continuum.
Continuous.
Like it's.
Yeah, Joyner, he definitely was not shy about it. He owned it, kept it up. You know, we in the era now, people delete, tweets and stuff like that. He's owned it, man, and was responding. So obviously he's passionate about it. And we know, the lane that he's in and from an artistic standpoint and, the route that he goes. So, I respect him for being able to say that and stand on it. You know what I'm saying? And have the conversation. Maybe it starts it. Who knows?
Just really sad, man. Unfortunately.
Overall, it's 100%. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe that conversation will continue. Maybe we'll see more things that pop up later. I don't know. Somebody might jump up and, start a conversation somewhere else on another platform, but we shall see. Let's take care of the sponsors, our partners real quick before we go into the next half of the show. Shout out to Coleman Dental, 317-255-8546, located in Broad Ripple. Make sure you check them out. Printfinity as well. My man DJ Jay Diff has one of those sweatshirts on. He runs that, so check him out. Bringing down the band, as always, is The Hub, Indie CD and Vinyl as well. They take care of us for our raffles and No Bad Ideas. We got hats laid out everywhere for them. A lot of merch. I like those airplane hands. I appreciate that. They take care of us, and I think they're our longest partner, if I'm not mistaken, in terms of relationship. So shout out to
them and Coleman.
Them and Coleman. Okay, shout out to Dr. Coleman. So we appreciate our partners as always. All right, so let's continue. I see you with the wax. Let's get into something I guess is a little lighter of a lighter mood.
We chatted about this.
We talked about
pre-show.
This. Yeah, we did.
Step on the crack.
Huh?
Baker mama's back.
So the yardstick was out. You know what I'm saying? This past weekend. Lizzo.
All 3 feet.
Yeah, all 3 feet of that yardstick was out. Lizzo was acting a damn fool at Lakers game. And she's been in the,
ass
media
out
here and there, ass out.
Literally.
Showing her ass, as the old folks say. So there was a Lakers game.
Like bare ass on a public seat.
Yeah.
Like Lily.
Like
she didn't even have like a seat cozy or nothing. She just sat her bare ass down.
Had a damn
on the front row.
Yeah, long t-shirt, and ass
easy for her
out.
to take a shit.
Huh?
When she gotta go to the bathroom. She didn't have to hike it up or nothing. She just sit down.
Not from what I saw. You know what I'm saying? Yardstick City. So she was out there acting a plumb fool, man, at the Lakers game. The Lakers girls were performing her record, and they starts out with them. This is halftime. I'm watching the Brown game. Halftime, Lakers girls doing their thing, and then there's a cutaway that goes to her, which is up on the jumbotron. So she's grooving to them, watching them perform. Normal stuff that someone would do when they see the record being performed, or dance to, if you will. But then it cuts away and it goes back, and she got the yardstick out.
I think
man,
everybody's seen it.
I don't know, man. I'm just trying to paint a picture just in case they haven't seen it. You can't miss the yardstick. But she was out there acting a plumb fool. How'd you feel about that, Jay Diff?
Man, you know what? I actually don't feel any kind of way.
Okay.
About that. What I do feel though.
Talk to me about what you feel now.
Is let's get into shaming per se. Because she was real confident in herself when she was walking down the hall. Yeah. Calling herself a bad bitch and this, that, and the other.
Okay.
But when people don't agree with how you're portraying your bad bitch facade or whatever,
okay,
then it turns into shaming or bullying. So where do we draw the line at what you are doing is inappropriate, regardless of your size?
Yeah.
And just call a spade a spade.
Well, I mean, she was on, if I'm not mistaken, she was on Instagram Live and eventually went to tears, if I'm not mistaken, about just the response to some of her actions. And I'm like, you brought these tears on yourself, man, by...
I mean, the battery's been put in her back.
Who put...
one.
Is that what it is?
It's not about who.
It's just overall.
A lot of people are doing... Yeah.
Okay. She's got a battery in her back.
Yeah, she's got a battery in her back. And people aren't... There are people that are cheering for her, but there are probably more, we discussed, that are laughing at her.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? It's a mockery. It's like modern day Sarah Bartman.
I see.
For those that don't know what that is, you might want to Google it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
definitely.
It's tough out here, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's tough out here. Lone, you got anything to add to what you saw?
Well, I'm pretty indifferent when it comes to Lizzo.
Because she has the greatest album.
Apparently.
7 nominations, if I'm not mistaken.
She's hot right now, right?
Yeah.
Rhapsody didn't even get a nod.
Ain't that about a bit? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, again, with this conversation, I wish we had a woman on the show to talk with us.
That would be
Agreed.
key.
That'd be perfect.
But you know, she's walking down a hall with her ass out.
Mm-hmm.
People talk about it, and she gets upset. I guess she became targeted. I don't know, man. I really don't care. But I don't honestly know how I feel about it, to be honest, because part of me feels like, just to be transparent, part of me feels like she did kind of bring it upon herself, because it looked like you only wear something like that if you want attention.
You want attention.
Thank you, sir.
And she's welcome to wear whatever the hell she wants to wear.
Agreed.
I guess. It's not my thing, but it doesn't have to be, so that's cool. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like if I'm walking around with my ass out, I'm just inviting everybody to comment on it. I don't know what else to say about that. So
I want you to see my ass.
And people saw it, and then they responded. So I don't know, man. But
we know how the internet works.
That's how exactly. That's how the 100%. Internet works. So I don't get. I don't know. Is shaming? Are people shaming her for what? For what? Why are people saying they're shaming her? Is it because she's big, or is
she's
it
big? So it's fat
because
shaming.
she's big. Yeah, it's fat.
I don't think it falls into that line.
No,
because it could have been. Give me somebody. It could have been Jay Diff that we still would have reacted the same way. Just throw a name out.
Me?
There.
I'm not.
We
fat.
we ain't talking about you.
Do the knowledge. we had the same energy for Kim Kardashian.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
On the cover of a magazine.
Yeah. But that was a cover of a magazine.
Yeah.
It was. It wasn't at
different.
a game where you're exposing yourself to everybody. It's a difference if, like, say you're following Lizzo on Instagram.
Right.
Because she definitely puts the yardstick out for you on there.
100%.
But you're following her. So that's what you came to see, right?
You're killing Spoolz right now, man.
I mean, that's what you want to do. You came to see that. That's her platform.
Yeah, you're going there for that.
But when you're out in public,
yes, sir.
This public arena is not your stage tonight.
See, you're
not performing. She actually is performing in Indianapolis tonight.
But I think
I wonder how that show's going.
What?
Better asses out.
You know it is. It's probably a big blow up of an ass on stage.
But that's the thing. When she performs, she doesn't have her ass out like that.
Oh.
Yeah?
No, she wears revealing clothes, but
just at basketball games.
Yeah, just at basketball games.
Yeah.
Listen, man.
I don't know. There might be a part of it. There might be a part of it that is a little bit of fat shaming, perhaps.
No.
You don't
because
think so, not at all?
No.
You ever seen the scales where there's nice asses and it goes down?
Okay, that's where I meant to go. That's where I meant to go.
Good.
Maybe I said maybe fat shaming, but maybe the fact that she doesn't really have a good ass.
Okay.
Did I say that? So I mean,
you did.
So that in comparison, so if we're going to compare, do you think is that part of it? Is that part fat shaming?
Because she don't have. I think
because I think there are. I'm going to save you.
They'll
here,
figure
Sean.
out a shame.
Save him now.
Based on what you said, though, about her not having what is traditionally considered or what most men would consider to be a nice ass,
right? Quote unquote.
There are women her size, as we talked about before the show,
yes,
who we would say have a nice ass.
100%.
Based on our criteria, or whatever, being men.
But of course, we're being toxic by even having a criteria.
So
100%. I see what you did there.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Criteria was the worst word I could have picked. But
it's all right, though. It's all right.
This is a very slippery slope for all of us.
100%.
It is. So
Hey, Miss Universe was just on last night. That they were being judged for beauty.
I will also say men aren't the only ones who think women's asses look nice or don't look nice.
Definitely not.
True.
So,
but
as far as it being for her, like empowering, I'd like to get to the point where people just do things to do things because that's what they want to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Why does having your ass out empower you though?
I can't.
You ever been in the bathroom and taking a shit
and
you just feel real empowered because your ass is out?
I don't know about that.
I think as a as a white male, I've never had to.
I mean, no, I'm just asking.
Or feel.
But your ass
feel
is out, though. You know? It's out.
Well, I guess
you're taking a good shit
as a straight white male.
Well, let's
never had.
Well, let me take it a little sideways.
I think it's. Jay, do you follow what I'm saying?
No, I know exactly what you're saying. But a lot of this, can't we just talk about people being tacky?
Yeah,
we could.
Yeah, that's really what it comes down to.
It just comes down to that.
Yeah.
Because I had this conversation and said, "Why are you fat shaming?" I said nothing about her size
at all.
I said this is tacky.
Yeah.
So again, with my comment, what I meant by my poorly worded comment was more so about the fact that if she was a larger woman and people were attracted to her in the historical way that people are attracted to things.
Okay.
Lizzo ain't ugly, though.
She's not.
I'm not.
I know, I'm just adding that.
Attraction goes multiple ways, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So if she had this embodiment of whatever she had, do you think people would have reacted the same way, or would they still be laughing at her? You know what I mean? Like,
still be laughing.
If it was Kim,
would.
If it was Lizzo, or if it was Kim Kardashian's ass out there, right? Would people be reacting the same way?
Yes, because we laugh at Kim Kardashian all
Definitely.
the time.
We've made fun of everybody who's had their ass out. Remember Prince had his ass out on the awards while he was performing.
When Howard Stern had his ass
Definitely.
out at the MTV Awards?
Yeah.
He got made fun of pretty hard.
Everybody makes fun of people with their ass out.
Yeah.
And
it just is what it is.
Is it partially because she's...
And they're going to talk about what it looks like, and they're going to compare it to things it looks like. So anyway, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, well, yeah, kind of lost my train. But it's all good. Yeah, I was going somewhere with that, but...
Sound like you had a bar ready for us.
Yeah, it's all good. I don't remember.
Well, look, this is the thing. We have a society, especially in the advent of social media, where people trade their dignity for attention. And the thing is, your attention was the 7 Grammy nominations.
Man, that's enough.
And the ancestors have
incredible.
told us about going out and showing your ass.
Well,
and I felt like when
That's a
all those
fact.
people cheered when she shook her ass on the Jumbotron, they weren't cheering for her or saying, "Oh, good for you." A lot of those people were laughing at her, and I don't like for black women to be laughed at.
They're all going to laugh at you.
Well, it's like, I'm trying to compare it like to something in my own life. Like, whoa, if I took one of my least endearing traits and just put it on public display for everyone.
Yep.
So to me, that's the confidence aspect that comes from it. You know, so like maybe if she's always felt self-conscious about this her entire life, and now
she said she didn't.
Okay, well then that's different, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where I was trying to give her.
Yeah, you get. That's
Sound like
the bar.
clout chasing to me. Like she's.
She said she's been this way forever.
Oh,
No, she's been
That's what
tacky
she's
for a
saying.
while.
Yeah.
I see you, Jay Moore.
And that this is just her, and everybody can get her whole ass. It's funny how that video
Everybody
started
can get her
out
whole ass
with her being real confident and showing that ass to the crocodile tears at the end of it. But
hey man, what I take from this, and here's what I take from this. I'm gonna try to put a bow on this, wrap this one up. This is what I take from this.
You're gonna need a couple of bows.
I'd rather Lizzo just be, the cute fat girl that stays out the way. But
you're in trouble. You shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, that's
sorry.
the worst
Grand
thing that's
opening,
been said.
grand
All of
sorry.
us tiptoeing around everything. So-
I'm sorry. That's
Mike just
I'm
comes out.
gonna say what people.
Mike just comes out. She needs to stay in her place.
I wanted her.
With a
That's my
cute fat
personal
ass.
opinion. I wanted her to stay out the way because I think she actually cute. Just stay out the way.
Look, he about to give a Tyra Banks speech.
But
we're rooting for you.
But at the end of the
Go
day,
ahead.
what she chooses to do with the longest yard is on her. That's
the longest yard.
I have nothing to do with that. We're gonna call it right when it's right and wrong when it's wrong. So that's it.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sorry.
out there on display, man.
Yeah. Can we move on? All right.
Jesus Christ.
So let's go ahead and go into.
It had to be a long conversation.
See? Come on, man. I'm trying to move on. Come on, man.
So long as referencing.
No, man.
Sean, could you make room on
Or
the
tenure
on
top.
your room for the protesters next week?
Yeah, they coming too.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and just. I need some tag teams on that one.
Yeah.
Now you're good, bro. Take them down.
Take them
No.
down.
Man.
All right. But
I feel like we have whatever we have coming at this point.
I mean, she ought to be shamed, though. We talk about shaming, and she ought to be shamed. I'm just
You know
saying.
what? But
Come on,
she
man.
would because she realized it too
Come on,
late.
man.
That's why she
Shame
got
on
on
you.
She got on Instagram because she realized, wait a minute, I'm ashamed of myself. This
Yeah.
wasn't a good look for me.
I mean, but you had 7. I think I could be wrong, but I think it was 7 nominations. Like, that's incredible. Like, just rock with that. Like, that's dope. Who gets 7 Grammy nominations?
You know what I hope for her?
Jay did. He didn't take home not one of them that year.
And he kept his ass in his pants.
He did. He might have farted, but he didn't show everybody his ass.
Yeah. I hope this just goes away for her. And
it's not, because she's going to, if she wins one of those,
she'll do something tacky next week.
She's going to do something tacky, yeah. She might have a little strap that comes down and shows her ass cheek live on TV or so. I don't know. She's going to show her ass.
If she does, if she like takes the mic at the awards and farts into it, I'll become one of the biggest Lizzo fans ever.
You're going to be a lesbian.
I don't know any of her songs.
Turn into a lesbian, huh?
Oh, man.
Look, ladies, all of you who've been defending,
is that what her fans are called?
Oh my God, really?
Oh boy,
all of you ladies who've been defending Lizzo, if you did this, you would be escorted out of the arena.
100%. That's the point. That's the point.
See, what's going to happen is they're going to turn on her like they did Nicki Minaj. Remember when everybody was Barbies?
Oh, 100%.
Now everybody riding with Cardi.
Yeah.
Or Megan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if we're going to see more just asses out in public because of this.
Because then people would be like, "Oh, you just clout chasing."
Yeah.
See what kind of impact this has. Oh, dude, there's plenty of clout chasers in the world. Like, they're all over. Like,
real quick, I hate to keep saying stuff because of this conversation, but they were comparing her to the cheerleaders because they have their asses out.
No,
per se.
No, they don't.
It's a little different, huh?
Yeah, they're
I don't understand that.
I guess if you're saying this is Lizzo's uniform, I don't know. I guess we all get to choose our uniforms, right? Yeah. This is my uniform.
The cheerleaders have a stage at the game. They're performing.
They're paid to do that. That's their job.
I'm sorry, I'm trying. I don't know.
Yeah. They're supposed to.
I've tried really hard.
All right, it's been a long conversation.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Episode 163, the toxic masculinity episode.
Oh my goodness.
I might name this and be like, you know what toxic masculinity
I'd have
is?
just took the nominations
just
and rolled
watch
out
the episode
because
you just kept your ass in your pants.
Yeah, I'd have kept my ass tucked and just took the 7 nominations because that's incredible. But
hey man, sometimes expressing yourself catches the eye of the public. Yeah. People say stuff about it.
Your brown eye.
Whether it be that,
I'm cool. That's it. I'm cool. All right, so let's. Man,
I just imagine going like just getting on Facebook and just, like showing my balls and being like, "What's wrong? Like, what?" Like, yeah,
this is empowering for me.
With my balls like out of my jeans.
# Free Willy.
Like I would go to jail. Like,
yeah.
Aren't you empowered by my balls being out at this nationally televised sporting event?
I'm not going to get into the whole empowerment thing.
Don't you like that? I'm sorry. Like that, don't you?
Y'all finished?
I would deserve what I got.
You would, Spoolz. You'd be in jail, sir.
Bottom line.
Balls out.
All right, man. So
anybody staying in.
Well, that's not quite the same as an ass, though. I mean,
it depends on who you ask,
my
sir.
ass, yeah.
That'd be like, the front involvement of a woman.
So that's ball shaming.
You're right.
Yeah, you're ball shaming.
Ball
now.
shaming.
What?
You're ball shaming right now.
Am I?
Yeah. Why?
I'm just being stupid.
I don't think you understand what shaming is.
Yeah. Well,
a lot of people don't.
Neither does Lizzo.
I think, Terry, that's a perfect note to end it on.
Yeah.
All right, then.
All right.
Fuck.
Salutations. We are the new old heads.
Yes, we are. All right. So, speaking of foolishness, I don't even know why this is happening, but this is really bad, man. Did you guys see or have you been following the Nick Cannon Eminem?
Oh my God!
First of all, Fat Joe and Dre got a solid album, by the way. I think it's called Family Ties. Mm-hmm. It's decent. I listened to that. But
Roddy Ricch got a solid album too.
Yeah, Dre from Cool and Dre production team from Miami. Miami. I don't know how I feel about him as necessarily rapping a lot, but I know it's a joint project. He laced all the production, so it is what it is. But there's a joint on there called Lord Above that features Mary J. Blige and M. So he has some slick bars for Eminem in regards to Mariah Carey. Why he's bringing that up in 2019, I don't know. I'm coming to you with that. But So he actually was rapping, like he had bars all through the whole song, but you know, he started talking about Mariah. So that got Nick Cannon to be, I guess, there's a video of him kind of saying, should I respond? And we should call Eminem Viagra Man or something like that. I don't know. He made some dumb analogy about pills or something. I don't know. But he drops a disc called Invitation, and it's got some of his people from Wild 'N Out on there. And the disc was really bad. Like, it was pretty bad. I know you ain't listen. It was
I haven't
trash.
even listened to it.
I listened to it just for the sake of the conversation, but it was trash. And then Eminem basically says, you know, you owe me an apology. He called him Nicholas. You owe me an apology. He comes back with another joint called Pray for Him with more people from Wild 'N Out. And I'm just like, why are we in 2019 with a battle between Eminem and Nick Cannon?
Two completely irrelevant people in hip hop.
I just don't understand where
What's
this is
the
coming
theory?
from.
One of you guys said you had a theory on
Yeah,
that.
what's the theory, Jay Diff? Because I think this is foolishness myself.
I think they're in cohorts with each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think but why else would you bring that up again?
Yeah.
And then Nick say, I'm not going to respond. And he responds immediately. Their video.
Hasn't he been divorced from Mariah Carey for like years now?
Yeah.
They do have twin. I don't know if they're boys or girls or one boy and a girl.
Boy and a girl.
But I think they may be scheming something or another. That's what I think.
I don't think that's too far-fetched at all, man.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Plan, plot, strategize. Huh?
Plan, plot, strategize. I mean, JuiceWRLD talks about 50. He tries to bait 50 at a time, but unfortunately it doesn't work in his favor.
50 actually said...
Ever.
Yeah.
50 actually said he posted on Instagram that he should whoop Nick Cannon's ass. And Nick Cannon replied with a picture of Samuel L. Jackson from Django.
Oh, yeah.
Steven, yeah. So that was his response to that. But I don't know, man. Like, to Lone's point about the relevancy, I guess, like, I don't even know why.
It's just corny.
Yeah. And Eminem has had, I think, shout out to my man Tony B. He brought this up. Eminem has been responsible for, corny rap beats for the past couple years. It was MGK. We did that one. Yep. This one, and then I feel like there's another one.
Pop stars.
Your beard is weird.
Lots of pop stars.
Yeah, like he's like, man, Eminem is killing them with the corny rap beats.
Didn't he go at her?
Yeah. Elton John, and then he did a song with him.
Yeah, I think he went after LFO.
Yeah. Britney Spears.
Yeah.
Lizzo.
See,
she might be on his radar.
See,
yeah.
What reputable person has Eminem ever really washed or gone after?
Oh no, I have to go back to when he was actually in his like prime and he was really chopping boys up. Yeah. Eminem now just selling records because he Eminem. Like I
mean, maybe in his Papa Doc, maybe back in his battle rap days.
Yeah,
he might have washed some people, but
I don't know.
50's responsible for JuiceWRLD.
Yeah,
everybody else just jumped in there and said something too, but 50 is definitely responsible for that shit. He did say something about cannabis, right?
He has many times. Did he do it again?
I sure hope not.
It's like, Jesus Christ, recycling.
What's so dude?
Fucking come up with a new idea. Shit.
What's 𝐀𝐁𝐿𝐹? Cage.
Yeah.
No, 𝐀𝐁𝐎𝐃, he got into it. I mean, they had a little back and forth.
Yeah. Insane Clown Posse.
ICP, I don't like.
Spoolz is like, nah, I'm cool. I just think
you
this
hear
is
the story about him pulling a gun on their like manager or something at like a car shop in Detroit, and then
who M?
Yeah,
I never heard that.
And then just putting it away and walking away.
Oh man,
Cotton Candy Fago.
Shouts to Kid Rock.
Allegedly,
yeah, Kid Rock.
Yeah, so
Kid Rock.
What a fucking douchebag,
man.
Even as a white trash hero, Kid Rock is a fraud.
He is like the worst.
That's a bar. He might be the worst. Man. That's a bar right there.
Like he grew up a child of privilege, and he
definitely did. He came from money.
We were just talking about this. He's one of them kids that came from money that wanted to be from the hood.
That want to have ops,
but bad.
Want to be from the hood and have ops and shit. And you live off.
He's not straight out of Compton.
60 seconds.
He's straight out the trailer.
Yeah,
he is.
That was a lyric of his from one of his horrible songs.
What trailer? The trailer at the show that he's at?
Like, or the trailer he took the horses that he owned. The trailer park that his parents owned.
Yes,
amongst many probably.
Like Jay Moore said, probably a horse trailer
that his dad had.
He's a piece of work, man.
What'd you say, Jay Moore? Apple orchard?
He did punch Tommy Lee in the face.
He had an apple orchard, and his family had horses. Like this dude, didn't grow up anywhere close to a trailer
and
park.
Yeah, not at all.
That's tough.
Yeah.
He got drilled on stage once. Somebody threw something at him real hard.
Yeah, he's
Nice.
posing.
He had it coming.
That's
Goddamn.
that's great.
Yo,
Like
that's
even
crazy.
Royce said something recently. He told him to shut the fuck up, I think.
Who, Kid Rock?
Yeah, because Kid Rock said that after everything I've done for Detroit, blah 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 blah, and Royce was like, "Shut the fuck up."
Yeah,
It's something else.
If Royce
Good.
says that, it's like, yeah, good job, Royce.
Yeah.
Kid
what I'm
Rock
saying?
campaigned with a presidential candidate who wanted to shut down General Motors. That's how much he cares about Detroit.
Yeah, right? There you go.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
You know, Obi Trice, they said Obi Trice came out of nowhere and was like, just did a diss record on behalf of.
He had just caught a case too within the last couple weeks.
He did.
Remember we was
I
talking
saw
about
that.
him
Friday?
a couple weeks, yeah. And I didn't get a chance to hear his record, so I don't know what he did, but this is just uncomfortable, man. Like, this is just weird to see Eminem, who's actually, I would say, you know, we've talked about playlists, we've talked about the music and where you hear it and where you don't. I can't knock him and take away his ability to rap, but it's like, fam, you continue to just do stuff that tarnishes how great of an MC you are by just doing stupid stuff. It's like,
I don't think it actually tarnishes him because
you don't think so?
Nah, because the people that really rock with Eminem love this shit.
The core fan
They
base.
love when he has little corny beefs and goes at people because they just want to hear him rap.
Maybe I'm
period.
speaking outside of the court then, because
You know, I mean, because we're not checking for M like that anymore.
that's a fact. That's a fact.
Shit, it's been like 2 decades since I've checked
right.
for him.
So
It is just a strange beat, like little beef that just keeps going.
they're in cohorts with each other, man.
Yep.
So we gonna get a joint album from.
No, not a. It's just monetarily speaking,
Okay.
and social media is a moneymaker.
Let me ask you this.
Eyes on them makes them money.
Let me ask you this: if they are in cahoots, as you say, does he show up at Wild and Out?
No.
Well, Nick
no.
invited him to Wild and Out.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
He
Does he
ain't
show?
on there.
Does he show up though? No,
That'd be
Lone said no.
hilarious.
No question.
What if he did?
Then you're right.
Straight
I
to
don't
the
know.
point.
But I don't think he'd do that.
Yeah, you talk about ratings.
You talk about corny.
Yeah,
I mean, there's not much cornier than
It's
MTV.
not, but there's people that are here for it.
yeah. There are
Yeah,
people.
a lot of
Oh,
people.
people. Yeah, people would. Yeah, no question. Wild Now is like a successful thing for Nick Cannon. I mean,
Very.
Have any of you guys listened to any of these songs?
I've listened to
I
both.
I have.
I
not.
heard the Fat Joe song because I listened to Fat Joe's album.
He got
Did you
busy.
like that album?
It was all right.
It's cool. Yeah, it's cool.
It was all right. I did like Roddy Ricch's album.
I didn't get a chance to listen to that one.
I liked it. But I haven't heard. I
got
didn't
bu-
listen to Nick Cannon's responses.
He had, and you guys aren't missing anything with both of the responses. But
That's what I say to that.
John.
And that was a real young.
yeah, that was real.
Didn't somebody say they wanted to fight the other one?
Nobody gonna fight.
What are they gonna do?
What if they had a boxing
Throw
match?
marshmallows at each other? I don't
Oh
know.
my god.
Who would win that fight? That boxing match?
I don't know, man.
Oh no. Speaking of
Neither one of them are brolic like that.
Yeah.
speaking of match though, I did see
Might be a
this.
draw.
These are both middle-aged fathers at this point.
Yeah,
True.
exactly.
This would be the worst fight ever.
I saw there was an article that popped
Nick
up.
has lupus.
Oh, really?
That's not, and I'm not even being funny.
Jay Moore, see man,
I'm just
That's sad.
I forgot
so
about
much
that,
for the
and it's-
ratings for this episode.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, he's not trying to fight.
Yeah.
I thought somebody said they wanted to fight the
Fuck
other
trying to
one.
get partners.
So
Man,
then,
I thought we salvaged it, but Jay
how many
Moore.
more
recovering
people can
drug addict beat up a man with lupus.
Man, that's
Well-
not a good look.
Let's talk
To
about
beat up
dog
somebody.
fighting. Fuck it.
Yeah. Shout out to Michael Vick, man. He got a Nike endorsement. You know what I'm saying? They've been on him for a while, man.
The partner.
Yeah. I thought we were actually trending up till he dissed Nick Cannon for having
Did I
lupus.
diss
Not
him?
you. Jay Moore was laughing.
No,
We were trending upward though. We coming out the hole, but
We were.
and he started laughing about.
I was just saying, as far as fighting,
Yeah,
I
I
don't think
feel you.
that's no.
Okay. I just saw one of them said something about it. So anyway, next.
Yep, back to the bottom. So there was an article that Jada Kiss said for a bag he'd battle M. Now I would tune in for
Bet
that.
he would.
No, but what I'm saying is skip the bag.
so would I.
I would tune in for that.
Oh,
Long
for
you
sure.
shaking your head. Would you watch that? Because I
guess,
think
yeah.
Jada Kiss would give him smoke.
I watched the
100%.
rerun. Yeah. I wouldn't watch it live, but
See, Spoolz, you watched that, wouldn't
Lone's busy that day.
What day is it? I don't know. I'm just busy that day.
I'm doing my sock laundry that day.
Yeah.
I'm super
Spoolz,
bidet.
you watched that, wouldn't I think it'd be worth it.
I'm doing my sock laundry.
We know
Yeah.
Jada got that
Super
smoke.
big entertainment, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Hip hop.
It'd be kind of cool.
I think Jada getting what he need. He's still laughing about lupus. Hey,
Hey, why'd you say that?
I'm sorry, man.
See, and you
Not
just
what
keep
I
it
was
going.
laughing about.
That's fucked up, big.
All right, so look.
Did you hear about Ice Cube bringing he's gonna bring a celebrity death match back apparently?
Yeah.
Oh, I
seen
hope
that.
so.
It's awesome.
Ice Cube out here getting these bags.
That's where
on the low.
M and Nick Cannon are gonna fight.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
celebrity
Yeah,
Episode 1.
That's where it'll happen.
I don't know because they can't have what's my man's name that was the ref Mills Lane. He passed
Oh,
away,
yeah.
so they can't have him. So I don't know who would
They
be.
had the lupus.
That one dude.
Oh,
If y'all bring up lupus one more time,
Hey, Red August, man, look, it's a wrap for this episode. So
look, the one ref though with the big eyes, y'all seen him?
the one ref
That gets
with
excited when somebody gets punched.
Oh, the black dude?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lone, what is this episode?
What is going
What
on?
is this episode?
What
Yo,
is happening?
We spiraling
I'm
out of
sorry, I
control
didn't know
right
his name.
now,
I just
man.
knew
Yo,
it was black dude.
hey,
This is definitely an episode where people learn how to hog tie.
Why would I hog that?
all right, man. So to keep us from talking about black refs with big eyes, is there anything else that we need to get out before we get out of here, man?
Real quick, 36-year anniversary of Scarface.
A classic,
A classic film that has
Classic.
touched hip hop in many, many ways.
for sure, for sure.
What's everybody's favorite scene or most memorable scene from Scarface? Jay Moore, go.
Probably, it's kind of layered. The one where he wouldn't let them blow up the car that had the kid in it.
Okay, yep,
That
for sure.
That kept it from
Killing
being
no kiss, man.
I second that.
That kept it from being a complete, basically, exploitation movie.
Yes, Terry.
Favorite part? I don't know.
There's
man.
something that stands out, memorable moment.
Maybe when they first got over here and they was in the little camp and somebody got stabbed or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Are you talking about the movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sean.
Bro, I don't even know that movie. Him sitting in a chair? I don't.
Wow. Mike.
I'm with Jay Moore on the kid part. I'm with that part.
The part that stands out to me the most is when Manolo goes into the bathroom to get Tony's sister out of there, and she's in there doing coke and messing around with some dude. Or Tony goes in there and throws him out or whatever. And Manolo's talking to Tony's sister, and she's like, "He really knew how to treat a lady," and he goes, "By taking her to a toilet to make out." I just always thought that part.
No, it's crazy because when I moved to my apartment, I didn't even buy a copy of Scarface, but being a man, just a black man in his 30s, it just showed up in my house.
Oh, dude,
Yeah, it just gets there somehow.
You go to everybody's house, there's at least a
Everybody
VHS.
got it. Yeah.
I've got a copy. I got probably two.
I never liked Scarface.
Yeah,
You watched it.
it's an odd.
I've seen it. Yeah, I just
Jay
never.
Moore made a good point. It had that scene happen. It was already teetering on it being a very exploitative film.
Did you ever see the original from the 30s?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
That
About prohibition and
yeah, it's actually really good.
They either
It is
had
really
the movie or they had the poster.
that's the poster.
Oh, both.
In
Frame.
every college dorm.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
With him walking out after he killed the Colombians with the orange and yellow shirt or whatever on,
Mine.
holding the gun with.
I just like when he say mine.
Yeah, that's part of the exploitative.
Mine?
I don't think Cubans sound anything like Scarface sounded in that movie.
Probably not. Probably not mine.
Maybe a little. I don't know. Never been to Cuba. So.
Yeah.
Cuba.
Shout out to Al Pacino.
But it had the whole thing about the boat lift.
Brian
and
De Palma.
There's a lot of political stuff in there that is,
Oh, yeah.
if you know about how a lot of the Cubans wound up in Miami, it's kind of a crazy story that they built this mythology
For sure.
out of that.
Get the yayo, man.
Real quick, shout out to the homie Skip from Indianapolis. From what I've been seeing on Instagram, his album is number 38.
It's up to 25
25?
on
Is it
number
iTunes.
25?
Charting on
iTunes?
iTunes.
Yeah,
Congrats
shout out
to
to that
Skip.
brother, man. That's
doubt.
that's big right there. That's big.
Yeah, absolutely.
We definitely should give him flowers on that because that's dope. That's
Indeed.
monumental, actually. So shout out to that brother. The album is called You For You.
With the
Definitely.
letters.
Yeah, letter U for you. So definitely check that out. Solid body of work right there, and to see that get on the charts, that's a good look for him and also for Indianapolis.
For the city, not for nothing.
Yeah, shout out to him for sure. I think that, did I miss anything else? I know we getting close.
This is my thing. Have everybody else?
Yeah. Nobody else to offend. So,
well, we didn't cover it all.
All right, thanks for listening to the New Old Heads last show.
The long ass episode.
All right, y'all, for the entire crew, I am Major 7th. Make sure you guys go to bringingdowntheband.com bringingdowntheband.com, but also go to YouTube, search bringingdowntheband.com, and make sure you subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, Patreon as well, /New Old Heads, and we will see you all next week. Thanks for the support.
In a minute.
Maybe. Peace.
Peace.